In terms of policy and who he wants?
I'm sorry. Is that real? It is not different to just say, here's my opinion and here's how I read the numbers and here's who I think has a good track record. You think that's the same as being the president of the United States?
So the problem with Elizabeth Warren is that she doesn't look at the reality of the situation. She accused Kevin Warsh of being President Trump's sock puppet. And will he be independent? Now, no president in America appoints somebody that they don't want to agree with them. Does that make sense? You appoint someone you want to agree with you. That's how it works. Sometimes he does a great job. Some of the Supreme Court justices, he didn't, unfortunately. And I know he's upset about it. That's going to do it for us. Stinchfield's Army rolls. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Sounds funny in the evening. You're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, it's live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Glad you're in, everybody. Slickster is going to do some sports. Rick Delgado is going to do main headlines. Paul Nolan in the house is going to do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in on a Wednesday. Weren't sure if we were going to be here. Turning Point, I know, has an event tonight as well, but we're going to take you through. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Very good.
Very good, very good. Anything big coming up in sports today?
Well, yeah, we're going to learn a little bit more about Hulk Hogan's pain management before he passed away. Very peculiar. And, wow, some glass came crashing down on one of the coaches in the NHL hockey game. That was a scary moment there. And we got a couple of good stories. We'll have NHL and NBA updates tonight, Big D. And old Jerry was hanging out with BJ today. What do you see that video?
I heard that. Looked like BJ came up and scared him a little bit there.
My friend texted me, he goes, we were just seconds away from Jerry Jones falling and not being available for the draft.
Yeah.
He's right.
Have the Mets won a game yet?
The Mets have not.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay,
the curse of the Mambino continues.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
12 in a row. What do you know?
He's going to have to try to redistribute those runs that's from other teams, I think, to get the Mets a win. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well, Damon.
How was your day?
Good. A little.
Why?
A little. What do you mean? Why?
Why was it good?
You're interested in why my day was good?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my goodness. Well, now I'm all caught off guard. It's because I was excited to come here.
That's a lie.
It is, because I thought I had the night off, and then I was scrambling. So there you have it. All of a sudden, my relaxing afternoon turned into a stress-filled related case of, oh my God, I got to get stuff done and get it to Erin before she yells at me.
Yeah. Well, she's going to yell at you anyways.
Well, that's true.
All right, very good.
What kind of life do you have that you are excited to be here because you had a night off?
It was only a half an hour difference. It wasn't like it was...
Yeah, right. But you know what? When you're someone like me...
No, thank
Say no
you.
more.
I rely heavily on a routine. No, not that.
Oh.
On a routine because of my job that gets me up at 4 a.m.
Yeah,
and then
my drivers all over Long Island.
And then my afternoon, which has to be mapped out accordingly. So when I woke up from my nap at 3 o'clock and saw the thing from Damon, hey, we're off tonight, enjoy your night, I was like, woohoo! And I made different plans.
He put on a
plans
dress.
did you make?
Ready to go dancing.
Right. I was ready for...
what plans did you make?
I was ready for a night out of frolicking.
Roller skating.
Frogs.
Boys.
Maybe. You don't know.
Frolicking? I thought you were going to go see a barber for a night out of frolic searching.
Disco night at the roller skating rink?
Frolicking at frogs?
Yes,
yeah, you going back to
at
frogs?
I was frog licking.
Okay.
Ew.
So yeah, so I was planning to do it. Yeah, it didn't come out right. But of course, when Damon said now we're on, we're on. So show comes first,
yes.
And everybody else kicked to the curb.
Okay, very good. Mr. Nolan, you want to follow that? How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, very good. Simple. Everything is good.
Yeah, but
fine,
you know
David.
what? You didn't ask him how his day. You didn't seem interested.
Well, I did have a nice day today. I hung out with KDJ again, and we did the show with KDJ and his buddy Gino, and you can catch it over on my X feed. And it was an hour and a half of absolute hilarity. Absolute hilarity. So go check out my X feed, and you'll see it.
How do they do that, Paul?
They go to Paul _ that's that low line, eggs. No,
Aaron, just run it.
Low line.
Aaron, just run it.
on
Low
Twitter.
line.
New technical term here on the show.
So, and I follow back, but I like you to get some feedback on the show. His boy Gino's a riot, and KDJ's the man, and we got liquored up doing it. So that's why I'm a little sleepy.
Oh, my God.
Is that why you were sleeping in your truck when I pulled up?
Who was the director? Jack Daniels?
Jimmy B.
Is that why you were laying on the sidewalk outside when we all got here? All right, live from Studio 6B, 4 minutes past
He was
the
sleeping
hour.
in the car.
Yeah, my shoe had change in it. Somebody was thought I was a homeless guy.
Well, there you go. Lots of places we could start tonight. We'll get to sports and we'll get to news. But I thought all of the Democrats were, of course, crowing about last night. Well, not so fast. And that is because a Virginia judge. See, they're going to have to deal with a little bit of this now. We deal with it almost on every issue.
Yep.
Virginia judge blocks state from certifying election results on new congressional map. A Virginia judge just blocked the state from certifying last night's election results on their corrupt new congressional map. The ruling, they didn't follow the correct procedure for a constitutional amendment. Jonathan Turley, who knows a couple things about these things, said, "We're having quite the night in the courts tonight. A Virginia judge just blocked the state from certifying the results of Tuesday's congressional map referendum as unlawful. Judge Jack Hurley Jr. ruled that Democrats did not follow the correct procedure for a constitutional amendment." Turley went on to say, if this is the same result in the state Supreme Court, it would be a disaster for Democrats on a multiplicity of levels. Multiplicity, that's a good word. They would not only be prevented from wiping out GOP seats in the purple state, but they would also have alienated almost half of the state in a way that is unlikely to dissipate over time. Democrat leaders across the state and the country are now on the record in calling for a map that this judge found to be unlawful. It's hard to be a champion of democracy when you're violating your own constitution. Finally, they spent an enormous amount of money on a vote that could now be negated. One can only hope that this wins the day and unifies people against Spanberger and the Democrats for the corrupt way they handled this corrupt new map. Let's hope the state Supreme Court agrees with Hurley. And obviously that's where this is heading. And I mean, I just point you back to my first word, which was really a second word at 9 o'clock last night after Turning Point got done. And we knew the result by then, but I still felt it was important to get through that for just this reason. For just this reason. And this is where you need the judges. Not what most of the Republicans deal with when you have these Democrat judges who think that they're the commander-in-chief. This is different. This is someone saying, wait a second here. So this is where, this is where the separation of the three branches, which is exactly my point of going through the founders in my first word last night and laying out why we have what we have in a constitutional republic and not a pure democracy. And that's exactly the reason. And so here we have this judge stepping in, and let's hope that this, like we said, let's hope the state Supreme Court, and if it has to, God forbid it had to go any further than that, would agree. So.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, too, because I was reading about this earlier today, and I found this from Raheem Kassam over at the National Pulse.
Great
right?
read.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you caught this, Damon, but he pointed out something that, is alarming when you stop and think about it. Believe it or not, this loss could be attributed to John Cornyn.
Because of the money they spent.
Because of the money that they spent trying to defend John Cornyn. $100 million in Texas to defend a guy who's probably going to lose anyway to Ken Paxton. And if you notice, I don't think President Trump has endorsed anybody yet. And he said he was going to.
And don't you feel like that's
so
just such a massive waste of time for Trump? I mean, he's dealing with wars. He's dealing with taking on global financial structures. He's protecting the U.S. dollar. Like, this is the stuff he has to deal with on the ground, too. Like,
well, he shouldn't have to deal with it. And that's why I'm pointing the finger at this guy. What's his name? Jake. What's his name here? Jake Cavalita or something like that. He runs Cornyn's re-election campaign, but he's also in charge of the money for the Republican Party, the Republican National Committee, sitting on $109 million in cash on hand, and they spent a lot of it defending John Cornyn.
What a waste.
Meanwhile, they should have been spending the money on making sure that the voters in Virginia knew exactly what was going on, because it was only about a 3 percentage point win, which is about 12-point difference from where the governor won her race by 15 points. So cost per vote analysis by National Post shows that they spent $40 per vote for the Democrats. Meanwhile, the Republicans spent $13 per vote. 3 times as much per head, and only still ended up with 51%. So, it tells you a lot about what we've seen with Mitch McConnell. Now we're seeing with John Thune. Why people stay lined up behind John Thune is because he inherited the war chest that Mitch McConnell handed him. And it's all about money.
It is.
Well, have you seen the fundraising numbers out of Texas? Tallarico is fundraising about a 6-to-1 advantage to the two Republicans. I think the two Republicans, I saw the numbers were like in the low millions, 2 million, 3 million, something like that. Tallarico raised $24.3 million, if I remember reading it correctly.
And remember, how many million Californian jackasses moved to Texas? Just think about where that's going. If that turns purple, what happens then?
Well, I really don't think he's going to. Once he gets exposed,
I mean, his highlight reels of stupidity are fantastic.
It's insane. You kind of look at him, and he's the kind of guy you might see drive around in a van in front of a small school. That's what he looks like.
When you say once he gets exposed, do you think he's not exposed yet?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You think there's way more lunacy in the tank that they're waiting to release as material? Because
we haven't really seen much. They haven't really gone after him because they're focused on each other. So once we find out who's going to actually run against this guy, we'll see all of a sudden the light shine on him.
Now, taking an extension off of what happened in Virginia, let's God willing hope not the next Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, said today to Governor DeSantis, our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find out. If they go down the road of a DeSantis dummy mander, he called it, the electoral tide is turning in Florida, Jeffries says. And in, of course, response to that, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blasted Jeffries in his invitation to F around and find out on redistricting efforts in Florida. And he said, please be my guest. I'll pay you to come down to Florida to campaign against us. I'll put you up in the Florida governor's mansion. Well, I'll take you fishing. Please come down here. There's nothing that could be better for Republicans in Florida than to see Jeffries everywhere around this state, he said. And, I don't really get the whole blaming Trump for all of this as well, as I see from too many on supposedly our side. Yeah, now it's really Trump's fault. You should really blame him.
Oh,
because he's the one who urged lawmakers to try to do this in Texas. And then now your guys are complaining about Virginia. And look at what you're going to do in Florida. This is what you hear. This is not from crazy leftists. This is from people on our side saying this. People who write in the Wall Street Journal. People who write over at National Review. Oh, it's Trump's fault that all this is happening. It's Trump's fault that Abigail Spanberger ran as a moderate and is now doing what they're trying to do. That's Trump's fault? Thank God for this judge today. All right, live from Studio 6B, just getting started. We're back right after this.
What up, Panhandle Paul?
Chatty chat. What's going on?
Chat live in the chat. Paul's laughing at something.
Whoever gave us this candy.
Don't say that.
Are you eating the candy right now?
I just had the
How come you didn't
piece of
share
chocolate.
it? You opened the box and you didn't even share?
No, I hid it over there behind Damon.
What the hell does he look like? Willy Wonka over here? His box is
You would
right
think.
behind
It's
you.
like, let us know.
This chocolate is so delicious.
What kind of chocolate is it? Who'd we get it from?
Oh, Big D's coming in hot. There he
yeah.
goes. Oh, man. Don't tell Harry. Harry will take all that box and delete it.
He's gonna
Whatever that thing was.
fasten a strap to that box.
That chocolate thing that
Do me a favor. Let's not thank him.
I never had one of these.
You only got a minute.
It was like a high performance Tootsie Roll.
What is this?
It was just
You know what? That's my nickname.
Oh, they got
a
one.
high performance Tootsie Roll.
They got one.
That's like one of the rumbling names.
What's that?
Whoppers.
Who doesn't love a Whopper?
Oh, Milk does. Where's Vin?
Oh my God! Look at you, Galphones.
Running to the hill.
You think you guys never ate
1 minute.
before?
Oh, Hershey! Oh, more Reese's! Who doesn't love a Junior Mint? Now I feel like
Aaron, apparently. Aaron doesn't love Junior Mints.
Who sent this?
There's the letters.
Wendy Lott. Thank you, Wendy. You sent a lot of candy. Nice.
I can't see a Junior Mint and not
Chewy
think of
chocolate
Seinfeld.
Caramel.
What?
Yeah.
Covered in rich.
Such love from the audience. Who can take the sunrise?
Wendy Lott
Sprinkle
from
it with
the
cheese.
great state of Walla Walla, Washington.
Candyman can.
What did Aaron take?
She took Reese's. Took a bag of these.
as she's. Okay, what's this? Our live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday, April 22nd. Glad you're in. Want to send a big thank you out to Wendy Lott,
Yes.
Yeah, she sent a lot of candy
who
to
sent
us.
a lot of candy.
Nice.
The last thing we need here in the studio. And this is the most interesting one. These are called what? Reasons?
Oh my goodness!
Reasons? Chewy chocolate caramel covered in rich European chocolate.
Oh, the European chocolate. Oh,
Yeah.
is that from Belgium?
I don't know. Germany's got pretty good chocolate.
S'il vous
too.
plaît. They sure do.
And then Vin's got his Milk Duds, which I guess we'll save for him.
No, he has 85 boxes. We're opening that one. He's got enough Milk
And,
Duds.
and
Vin.
honestly, at Vin's advanced age,
Stop.
he shouldn't be eating those.
A box that represents Delgado's lies on the show, Whoppers. Okay.
Really?
And then,
Hey guys, this.
and then we've got some Reese's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Wendy
this-
Lott, thank you very much.
Yep. Who's our sponsor? Invisalign.
I also have some Reese's.
What does that have
Yeah,
to
and
do with
Erin
me?
stole some, and I hope her Invisalign gets stuck to the roof of her mouth and she can't get the chocolate
That's
out.
not nice. I only have 3 weeks
No,
left.
big
Don't
deal.
wish that upon me.
You're taking,
Well,
you're swiping at her, now
you
you're
didn't
swiping
ask-
at me
you
as
didn't
a
ask to
Whopper?
take it.
Look who's talking
You
about
put it on the
Whoppers.
table, and I took it and ran.
All right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell.
Definitely not a sweet
LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
We got playoffs going on, Big D. Playoffs all month. Next month, we're all
Playoffs?
excited. Playoffs. We got NHL hockey. Let's go. Well, the Penguins, we might be fighting for their lives tonight. They're down 2-0 in Philly. Right now, they're up 1-0 with 15 to go in the second period. We have the Wild and Stars. That's coming up 9:30. Puck drop in Minnesota. Right now, let's see, this series is tied at 1. So there's game 3 tonight there. Ducks and Oilers, with the Oilers up 1-0 there. Game 2, and that game is a 10 p.m. puck drop. To the NBA we go. Big game tonight in Detroit. Almost a must-win, I would say, for the Pistons. They are tied with the Magic at 46, 26 seconds to go in the first half. And right now Orlando leads that series 1-0. They had a major upset because Pistons are the number 1 seed. The Suns take on the Thunder, and that's at 9:30 tonight. Their tip-off there. So a lot of playoff action tonight, Big D. And want to get to this story here. NHL coach narrowly avoids disaster as glass shatters behind the bench. Talk about playoffs. This is Ryan Gaidos of Fox News. L.A. Kings head coach DJ Smith narrowly avoided disaster in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Colorado Avalanche last night. Ruckus of Avalanche fans banging on the glass behind Smith caused the pane to shatter after Colorado goaltender Scott Wedgwood made a stop on Quinton Byfield. Some pieces of glass rained down on Smith. He covered his head and brushed the glass off his suit before running down the tunnel to get checked out. Aaron, could you roll cut 1? This will show this. Watch closely here behind the bench here.
It's just the celebration
Look
of
at
the
this.
Wedgwood save.
Oh, look at the glass just crashed.
Hands on Coach Smith. He's going to need a shower.
Shower? He's lucky he needed 10,000 stitches. Very dangerous here. These fans are, Paul, you don't see it that often that a fan knocks the glass out, Usually it's a puck or something bizarre.
Who put would the glass get free when they ordered meatballs and a salad? What kind of glass can't even stand up to that?
Well, the guy put it in, said it was a pain in the neck. He couldn't get it in. But yeah, terrible, though. I can't believe that, though. So thank God he's okay, though. Yeah. That's just unbelievable. And Hulk Hogan took dangerous amounts of fentanyl following his divorce. This is Dylan Gwynn at Breitbart. Professional wrestling legend Hulk Hogan took dangerous amounts of fentanyl daily as he coped with physical and emotional pain after his divorce, the late wrestler revealed in his final interview on Netflix. The recently released Netflix documentary, Hulk Hogan, Real American, I haven't seen that yet, offered a personal look at the WWF legend's life behind the scenes and what would turn out to be Hogan's final view before his death in July of last year. Following a lengthy, financially costly divorce from his former wife, Linda Hogan, in 2009, Hogan joined TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, because he needed the money. However, due to his age, injuries, and a lengthy layoff from the prime of his wrestling career, it became apparent to Hogan and TNA that he could not physically perform, which led him to turn to drugs. I was taking 80 milligrams of fentanyl, 2 in the morning, stuffing them under my gums here. I had 2 300-milligram patches of fentanyl on my legs, and they gave me 6 1,500-milligram fentanyl lollipops to eat, Hogan said in the Netflix interview. I went to the pharmacy, he goes, you should be dead. We have never seen a human being take this much fentanyl. Hogan adds, if I just twitched my finger like that, my whole back would spasm and torque. So dealing with pain back in 2009. Did you see that Netflix documentary, Big D?
No.
I have not. Well, you're a big wrestling guy.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I want to catch that.
I don't watch Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of the rule, so.
Oh, I got you. All right, no problem. Well, I do.
Well, because of all the child grooming stuff.
You could start there.
Yeah.
Well, I have it just because that's how I can catch my Cowboy games on Christmas. That's why I have it. But anyway, that's a wrap in sports.
All right, 22 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So some were asking in the chat, where have you seen this, Damon? People blaming Trump. Virginia's race to the gerrymander bottom. Trump's redistricting gambit backfires as Democrats rig districts in states they run. The editorial board today over at the Wall Street Journal, the opening paragraph. I'm not saying, I understand the Wall Street Journal is not the conservative review. I get that. But they say the gerrymander race to the bottom escalated on Tuesday as Democrats in Virginia won a narrow victory to redraw their state map to add as many as 4 Democrat House seats. This is bad news for the GOP control of the House in November. But Republicans should blame President Trump for starting this rolling rock that has now come down on their heads. That's the opening paragraph.
So I guess they forgot about 2022 when New York started this whole thing. Okay.
Right.
Barack Obama on Tuesday hailed Virginia. Now, Barack Obama is somebody, by the way, when he was in office, was totally against gerrymandering, came out against gerrymandering. Now he's all in on it, of course. Barack Obama on Tuesday hailed Virginia for standing up for our democracy. Of course, they love democracy. But the vote effectively ends competitive elections for Congress in most of the state. This is why voters don't take seriously Democrat complaints about GOP threats to democracy. Exactly. When it goes on. But it's not the only place I've seen it. Well, that's Trump's fault, don't you know? He started the ball down the hill. All right, 23 past the hour, live from studio. I just don't get it.
Well, from 2023, Damon, New York's highest court last week gave the Democrats a chance to redraw the state's congressional district, a major victory for the party as they try to win control of the U.S. House next year, talking about the Democrats in the state of New York. So in case people want to, go back and actually check history, they could check that too. Because maybe that was actually what started all this.
It's been going on for as long as we can remember with the Democrats, though. No, I mean, have the Democrats not been messing with this for as long as you can remember as a grown adult? I mean, as an election watcher, they talk about gerrymandering all over Long Island, and the redistricting was constantly happening to help Democrats on Long Island,
especially on Long Island. Some of the districts are stupid the way they're drawn.
And now the Republicans are doing it, and it's an issue for the democracy. I mean, the word republic just tortures these people.
Yeah.
All right, 24 past the hour. Let's start some headline news. Paul Nolan's got some. What's going on, Mr. Nolan?
So I have, this story here. I have a couple clips to go with it, but just to get it started, a federal grand jury in Alabama on Tuesday indicted the Southern Poverty Law Center on 11 counts of wire and bank fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, as the Justice Department accused the group that rose to fame during the 1960s civil rights movement of paying members of the 21st century extremist groups to stoke hatred. That's right, you heard it right. The SLPC, a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. Now, this is Todd Blanche, the AG, talking about this. He continued by saying the SLPC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred. We have the clips when we come back.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We'll get to those clips plus more news. Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. We're back right after this.
Teeth and all, I can't do it.
Try to pull it like I was.
No way. It's going to end up everywhere.
Give it to muscle, baby.
Oh my God, mate. What again?
What are you trying to do? Open this damn bag?
Pull it. No. Pull.
You got to tear it.
No. Oh, that's
There's a little tear seam there.
If it has a tear tab, that's how you're supposed to open it.
What's the matter? All right, so you want to let Rick lead the charge?
What clips do you? I only see one, and that's cut 15, right? That Paul has for this. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You know, I also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, because I don't see myself on the breakdown there.
All right, so what other clips did I have for this? Because I did these at 6 a.m.
Oh. Okay, you know what? I see it now because it starts with Elon and Charlie. Gotcha. All right, cool. Yeah, we can tag team that. Yep. Okay. Yep.
I just sent you one over there.
Where's that?
So we can.
Read my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely play that clip here. Also.
Hey, Aaron. I was driving in and I was playing 102.3, and what do I hear? Them talking about the bullfighter this morning.
So, Aaron, I think the good idea.
Aaron, you think of me?
Hey, Aaron, 1 second. Can we do the Biden clip? How he propagandized this whole Charlottesville thing. It was whole campaign was built on it. And then we'll play Kamala after that. All right, cool. Okay.
But Aaron, let's go to my screen when we get back. I got a diaper here. Even though we didn't prep it, I'll play it from here. What is it? Is it not funny? All right.
Did I send you my Liz Warren clip on Squawk Box, I believe it was? Yeah, I think it was too.
Minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, April 22nd. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got main headlines coming up. Paul Nolan's going to do some news. Right now, we have a did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election? Elizabeth Warren, I think, gets into it here with Kevin Warsh. Let's hear this, Aaron.
Donald Trump has made clear that he does not want an independent Fed. In fact, he has said, and I quote, anybody that disagrees with me will never be Fed chairman. And he's made clear that you are his sock puppets, saying last week that interest rates will drop, quote, when Kevin gets in. Yeah, I think they do. Not when economic conditions change, we'll get lower rates. Not when the economy needs it. Nope. He said, when my guy, Kevin Warsh, is in there, we'll get the interest rates that I, Donald Trump, wants. So independence takes courage. Let's check out your independence and your courage. We'll start easy. Mr. Warsh, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
We try to keep politics, if I'm confirmed, out of the federal.
I'm just asking you a factual question. I need to know, I need to measure your independence and your courage.
Senator, I believe that this body certified that election many years ago.
That's not the question I'm asking. I'm asking, did Donald Trump lose in 2020?
And I'm suggesting you in 2020, the Fed made your huge inflation problem, and you certified the election.
So let me ask you another question.
Out of monetary policy.
In our meeting, you said you would be independent because you're, quote, a tough guy. Those were your words, tough guy. And you will be able to stand up to President Trump. So let's try it again. Name one aspect of President Trump's economic agenda with which you disagree.
Well, Senator, the Federal Reserve in recent years has wandered outside of its remit, wandered into other areas.
I'm asking for something
that's not something I'm prepared
with Donald
to do.
Trump on.
If I'm confirmed, the Federal Reserve should stay in its lane.
Just one little place where you disagree with Donald Trump.
Well, I do have a disagreement, actually, Senator, with the president. I think even this morning, he said that he thought I was out of central casting. I think central casting, I'd look older, grayer, and maybe show up here with a cigar of sorts.
Quite adorable.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Is there anyone more annoying than her?
She's annoying.
I'm not for hitting babies, but that baby needed a spanking.
That was more like diaper rash than diaper diplomacy.
Oh, my God. She is so tedious, man.
She's awful.
She is just
like she cares about Fed policy.
Right.
She's never said a word about Fed policy or financial. She's never cared a lick about any of it. Now it matters to her. She's such a clown.
So, Paul, just to finish before we get to more news on your Southern Poverty Law Center, I said yesterday I thought this was a big deal. And you think about specifically to the details of Charlottesville.
Which they were clearly funded by.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen, like, how many times have we seen that marching band of feds, the United Patriot Front funded by this garbage.
I mean, Biden told us that was the reason he ran.
Listen, in fact, I got that clip. Why don't we just let clip 15 talk for itself and how he politicized the pumping veins in their neck and the torches. Watch this propaganda machine.
Close your eyes. Remember what you saw on television. Remember seeing those neo-Nazis and Klansmen and white supremacists coming out of fields with lighted torches. And remember what the president said when asked?
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Their veins bulging.
He said specifically that he was condemning them.
No, he did not. He said he walked out and he said, let's get this straight. The veins bulging on their as they were screaming. Remember, just close your eyes and picture what it was. Their veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Nazi sympathizers carrying Nazi fags. Veins bulging.
What do you think?
Veins bulging. Veins bulging. Veins bulging. How are you, baby? How old are you? Their veins bulging. Just their veins bulging. Bulging. Veins. Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys. Their veins they're bulging. Their veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Veins is bulging. Bulging. Sure. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it?
Racism is evil.
Damn it.
And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as America.
Yeah, it was like a mini crazy town.
Yeah.
He ran his whole campaign. That was his shtick.
Mm-hmm.
And they set it up. They set it up to create a narrative to bend the brains of the people who have no time to follow politics. Yep. The people who are grinding it out every single day, morning, noon, and night, they're working, and they don't have time to sift through the BS rubble of mainstream media news, and they're stuck believing this bag of garbage. And it comes in different forms, and it's trickled in from all kinds of different outlets. It ends up in their social media feed when they're trying to enjoy themselves, catching up with Aunt Millie, who's down in Toledo. And there they are. This thing will pop up and it'll brainwash them. This is how this crap works.
Yeah.
You know, watch Kamala here. Watch old casting couch.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate.
Looking for mosquitoes.
And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
Of course, they take it out of context. And then, of course, yesterday, we touched upon this when the story broke, because it broke during showtime yesterday. So we really couldn't dive into it and see what all they had. But the Southern Poverty Law Center indicted on 11 counts of wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering. And that's just to start, according to
John Solomon.
No, according to the acting AG Todd Blanche, saying that that's just a start, because there will be people attached to this as well. Because let's face it, the Southern Poverty Law Center doesn't exist without people. So now they have to go after and dig out the people. This also was something that was warned about. Charlie Kirk warned about it. Elon Musk warned about it. They actually put out things regarding this. Elon Musk wrote on X that the SPLC is an evil organization that spreads hate propaganda relentlessly, and it needs to be shut down. Charlie Kirk was more direct, labeling the SPLC a hate group in 2023, months before his death. Kirk criticized the SPLC over its decision to adding Turning Point USA to his list of hate groups. Meanwhile, these are the people who are now being charged with funding the KKK. So basically, it's like the wrap-up smear of wrap-up smears. So what they needed to do was, there's not enough hate in the world. We need to pay people that hate for a living, that we're supposed to be saying we're against. We'll pay them to do more hate. And then once we spend that money on them, which was about $3 to $5 million from what I understand, they brought in $50 million as a result. So it's not a bad turnaround on investment.
Tremendous ROI.
Yeah, exactly. When you talk about the return on investment, here is, what do you call it? I think we both sent this in. Jamie Raskin. Yeah. He's been lobbying for the Southern Poverty Law Center. Here's what he had to say. A little reminder of this, cut number 5.
Now, in other times, Democrats and Republicans alike would rely on the Southern Poverty Law Center to help us keep track of the movements of violent white supremacy in the country.
Yeah, well, now we know where they were. They were under the payroll
Southern Poverty Law Center has been a vigilant voice in civil society against radical white nationalist violence and extremism, neo-Nazism, and other forces across the political spectrum that spread organized hate from any quarter
And you guys paid for it.
The president, however, wants to undermine civil society organizations and to reduce our ability to defend ourselves against the virus
Whatever's
of
written
racial
down for you.
violence.
You can blow him up. Here is probably more important was Todd Blanche, what he said last night about it really, about when this actual investigation actually started. Cut number 6. Here he is, Todd Blanche. Check this out.
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that the Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So the Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain to do certain things, and so yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
Yeah, he didn't say it there, but he said it on another show. I saw him say that this actually started under the Biden administration, I believe, in 2023, the investigation, and that for some mysterious reason, and they haven't gotten to that part yet. They're going to try and figure it out. It was shut down by the Biden administration. I wonder why.
The numbers are. As of 2024, just take a guess what their total assets are as of 2024.
I'll say $500 million.
You're underwhelmed it.
Really?
Just short of $1 billion, right?
$822 million total assets on hand.
Wow. These entities are unstoppable. You think about what USAID has done and got away with. Think about what the National Endowment for Democracy gets away with. Essentially, they say, okay, let's privatize these companies, create a separate entity. We'll pump it with money from donors and NGOs. We'll make it completely out of the focus of the government's purview, and we'll just do everything the CIA wants to do but can't do because they'd be accountable for doing it. This is another one of these. It's just another on-the-ground scam to dismantle everything to do with the freedom in this country.
Here's the paragraph from the Washington Free Beacon write-up on this. This is the last part of it. This past fiscal year, the SPLC's non-U.S. equity funds rose to $121 million compared to $92 million last year. While the SPLC is entitled to invest its money as it sees fit, stashing over $100 million in offshore accounts is certainly a curious decision for an organization with poverty in its name. Putting tens of millions in tax havens is all the more curious when you consider that as a nonprofit, the SPLC doesn't pay taxes anyways. And again, here's the balance sheet as of 2024. $129 million in revenue, $120 million in expenses, $822 million in total assets.
Wow.
$35.4 million in total liabilities.
And that was 2 years ago.
That was only 2 years ago.
That's a nice scam, right?
Oh
man,
because they're basically, and I'm from what I understand, they're being investigated because they've been lying to their donors about what they do with their money.
And the donors don't even care. They love it.
Yeah, well, they're leering centers.
until you say, hey, donors, by the way, you guys are paying for the KKK.
But what it did is it hurt the Republican Party, so let's do it.
All right, live from Studio 6B, headline news with Delgado coming up right after this.
I just can't imagine David Wilcock killing himself.
Who the hell's David Wilcock?
I sent it to you. You said I saw that. He's the guy from Gaia TV. Does all kinds of cool stuff about like UFOs and energy fields.
You know what?
This guy seems. It doesn't make.
That doesn't make any sense.
David Wilcox.
Yeah,
he's a great guitar player.
You're
this is cock.
Johnny Lang.
This is plural.
You know what? I was hearing Wilcox, but it's Wilcock.
Wilcock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul,
That's why I was kind of
super
thrown
chat.
off. I'm like, huh? The name didn't sound right.
For Paul.
Oh, yeah.
In the YouTube, Bill Moore, our good friend Bill Moore from Maryland, $5 super chat. Paul Nolan, great show today with KDJ and Gino Bisconte. It went off the rails early and stayed there. I haven't laughed so much in quite a while.
Thanks, Bill Moore. We had fun doing it, man. It was a rip.
I find that hard to believe because this guy was all over like
cow
shows and stuff talking about this stuff.
And always in such like a warm, I don't know.
It's a little strange, especially with things ramping up right now.
Did I share that video of the woman who who invented the anti-gravity? It's like 4 different times it's been stopped. It's on my X feed. I'll share. I'll go there now and I'll share it with you. It's just wild. Jody Babbitt, same tactic you used. You POS of a human. Can't wait to see you locked up. She's talking to
you.
No, she's talking. She's talking to Slick Rick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he deserves that definitely.
This guy John Brennan's the audacity of him is just beyond mind-boggling. And if you haven't seen the new Promethean action, man, Susan Kukinda keeps getting better. Susan, come on the show. In fact, everybody go to Promethean Action's website and tell them to go on LFS6B.
Steve Smith is all over you, Delgado. He says, come on, Delgado. Thought you'd be all over that story. Steve Smith woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, I'm convinced, though. He came for me, too. He told me I was a drama queen earlier.
Well, you are.
All right. He's guilty as charged.
Hey, listen, he probably had a long day. He's having a few pops. Right now, he's fed up with all these libtards.
That you can't blame the poor guy. That's the truth.
But don't take it out on us, you prick.
Yeah, you bastard.
Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, April 22nd. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got main headlines. Paul Nolan's got some news. Let's do the main headlines now. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, let's do a quick update on what's going on over in the Middle East. Of course, latest headlines is Iran has fired upon 2 ships in the Strait of Hormuz after President Trump has extended them the courtesy of an extended ceasefire. Trump confirming he's in no rush on an Iran deal, says the blockade scares them more than the bombing, and he could be right because according to a lot of sources, it's the money. And it's always been the money when it comes to the people in Iran. President Donald Trump confirmed earlier today that there's no time pressure surrounding the ceasefire, agreeing to a new date for talks with Iran after negotiations stalled on April the 12th. Speaking to another network a day after extending the indefinite ceasefire, Trump confirmed a 3 to 5 day window reported on the extension as being false. He also commented that the ships fired at and seized by Iran on Wednesday in the Strait they were not U.S. ships, and that he would be keeping an eye on the situation. But again, he said there's no time frame and there is no rush to what is going on. So he just wanted to make sure that got out there. Who was it speaking about this today? Was it Caroline Leavitt? She was talking about this earlier today. I don't know what the cut is because I can't find it on my sheet. Aaron, the first one, cut 3.
Let's level set on where we are. As you all saw yesterday, President Trump announced an extension of the ceasefire. He's maintaining and generously offering a bit of flexibility to a regime who has been completely tarnished because of Operation Epic Fury. There's obviously a lot of internal division. This is a battle between the pragmatists and the hardliners in Iran right now, and the president wants a unified response. And so as we await that response, there's a ceasefire with the military and kinetic strikes, but Operation Economic Fury continues, and the effective and successful naval blockade continues as well of ships and vessels that are moving to and from Iranian ports. We are completely strangling their economy through this blockade. They're losing $500 million a day. The Karg Island is completely full. They can't move oil in and out. They can't even pay their own people as a result of this economic leverage that President Trump has inflicted over them. So he's satisfied with that as we await their response.
Yeah, and again, the blockade, according to the president, says it scares them even more than the bombing. He said, according to the Iranian regime, they've been bombed for years, but the blockade they hate. Once those wells go down, sometimes they go down for good. Trump also said the foreign minister in Iran was a smart man, that he expected he will still be there when talks get underway again. Here is cut number 4, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, basically echoing what President Trump was saying about them needing to get their act together. Cut number 4.
Look at where we are right now. The president chose to extend the ceasefire because it's Iran who needs to get their acts together. The United States and President Trump have been very clear in our demands and our red lines and what we need to see in the best interest of the American people and our country and our allies from the very beginning.
Yeah, so there you have it, the latest on what's going on. Really not much of a change throughout the day, but the ceasefire, according to the president, is going to continue until he decides it's not going to continue. So that's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. All right. What else?
Let's see. Well, according to this, CIA chief, ex-CIA chief, John Brennan is, he's freaking out just a little bit here, Damon, as the former CIA director declared he's quite proud of probes into his Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, following the Department of Justice reportedly dropping subpoenas related to an investigation into him. The Associated Press and multiple other outlets reported yesterday, each citing multiple sources, that subpoenas issued as part of the investigation into Brennan had been rescinded, but that only means that people are coming forward willingly. So they're not being forced to come forward. They're walking in on their own accord. But the best part about this, and I think, Paul, you saw this as well. You sent this in. Is John Brennan talking about it, complaining about it, finding out that, you know what, karma is a real thing and eventually it will come for you. Cut number 8. Here is the former CIA chief.
This is gold.
Yes. I love watching this. Can't get enough of it. Check this out. Cut number 8.
Just shows that over the past 10 years, there's been, failure after failure to try to identify something that, wrongdoing in this case. But, part of this is to harass, to try to hurt individuals reputationally, professionally, financially, trying to keep the story alive as a way to deflect from other issues and challenges that they face. So, again, I'm not surprised by this. I'm very dismayed and disappointed by it. I'm also very troubled that we have people in government who seem to be so mean-spirited that they try to actually hurt individuals, hurt people, their families, and others. And they claim to be part of the Republican Party. This is not the Republican Party that I work with, or that you worked with. There are people
you mean the rhinos?
Who never would have thought the Department of Justice would have fallen as far as it has. And so, again, every day when I wake up, there's something new that I just find just being so.
So there it is. I mean, can I just say yes, and yes to everything he just said? I'm glad he feels like he's being harassed. I'm glad he's hurt.
He looks...
disheveled.
We should go through your panty drawers.
Yeah, I'm glad he's suffering.
Bloomers.
I'm glad he's suffering professionally. I'm glad he's suffering financially. I hope they come and get everything this guy has, because he is a traitor to this country, and he's what you might call a word I can't say.
Okay.
But that's what we voted for, John Brennan. So welcome to the party, pal.
This is all the people want, is a little bit of comeuppance for these traitors who've politicized and weaponized every aspect of government. And there's two tiers. three tiers of justice, but the two tiers of justice, these oligarchs never pay for any of their crimes. They run scam after scam with impunity, and we are constantly, worried about a red light camera. We're constantly worried about making a right on red. We're going to get hit with 50 more bucks. These people are so full of crap. I've had it.
I like to make a left on red, but Delgado's got the lights all screwed up. All right, let's do some sports. 6 minutes till the hour. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Big D, to the diamond we dip. Major League Baseball, Marlins 4-1 final over the Cardinals today. Rays ripped the Reds 6-1. The Astros blanked the Guardians 2-0. Orioles over the Royals 8-6. Angels down the Blue Jays 7-3. Mariners nipped the Athletics 5-4. In the bottom of the eighth, Tigers 4-2 over the Brewers. The Yankees right now 4-0 over the Red Sox, bottom of the eighth. How about that? The Mets looking for their 13th consecutive loss. They were up 2-1, and the Twins have just tied it now in the bottom of the sixth in Citi Field. What could possibly go wrong in New York? The Cubs 4-2 over the Phillies, bottom four. Top four, Rangers 2-1 over the Pirates. Padres blanking the Rockies 1-0 mid-first. White Sox, Diamondbacks 9:40, and at 9:45, Dodgers taking on the Giants. So the Mets right now are worried about wins, and in New York, the Yankees are worried about where. Yankees' 120-year tradition in jeopardy as players pitch idea of alternate road jersey.
What?
This is Ryan Marick of Fox News. I figured this get you, Rick.
No.
For over 120 years, the New York Yankees have been traditionalists as they remain the only team in Major League Baseball without an official alternate jersey. However, that could all change. According to The Athletic, Yankees players have pitched to team higher-ups about an idea of wearing a new jersey. The players, the outlet noted, want the jersey on the road, leaving the home pinstripes unchanged. Of course, the Bronx Bombers wear navy blue tops during spring training that read New York during spring road games, which is likely what they would wear on the road if a change would be made. The home pinstripes have become more common in home spring training contests in recent years compared to the same blue top with the interlocking NY. That look is normally used with players' jerseys, and it's also a replica that is sold online. Could you imagine if the Yankees get away from the old gray jersey that says New York?
No. Yeah, I can, but I don't want them to. But did you know today, a little fun fact,
What's that?
is the day that they debuted the pinstripes for the very first time back in 1915.
Do you know why they wore the pinstripes? Because Babe Ruth was so fat.
No, he wasn't part of the team yet.
They wanted to slim them out a little bit.
Oh,
no, that's fake.
I thought it was because they were trying to lock Mickey Mantle up. That's another story.
Also, fake news.
That's a little bit.
Okay, good. All right, 4 minutes to the hour left for studio. Oh, that's hour one. Hour two coming up right after this.
Come on, get our girl Susan Kikinder on the show. We need to chat to get her on our show. Oh, that camera over there, it's that TV, I guess. No, I'm just saying this TV's got a good picture. I know. It's my wife's birthday today.
Oh.
The pretty lady is 59. She still looks fantastic.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, you didn't take her out for dinner tonight.
Yeah, I asked her, what do you want for birthday? She said, you to go and do the show. That's not true.
I keyed.
All right, so all those people who just followed, I followed back to the max amount. Just so you know, you're only allowed to follow back 20 at a time before X says you have to wait. But when you interact, anybody I see who's interacting on my posts, especially if I know they're not a bot.
Chat live in the chat. You know what? I'm closing in on 10,000 on X.
That's fantastic.
Let's get me to 10,000. Get me to 10,000.
Yeah, get me to 5.
Get me to 10,000.
What does that get you?
I don't know.
Hey, could you put the Penguin
It's
game
just
on
nice
over
to
there or
see
no?
double digits, that's all. With the K next to it. I think that'd be fun. I'm at 97.39. I need like 261 to go.
How often do you post?
Every day.
I post,
but I never tell people to follow.
I post every like.
So I should do what Paul does, and throw myself out there.
I don't do it anyway. I do it once in a while. If we should all
do it all the time.
No, you
shut up.
You stop whining.
You do so.
You know, would you
Mr.
stop?
Pinstripes.
Go ahead and have a little more chocolate because you're getting ornery. Your blood sugar's dropping. You're getting a little squirrely. I don't want to have to throw you across the set.
I don't want you to throw me across the set.
You guys are ready to duke it out all night.
Here's the deal. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
Well, you are watching live from Studio 6B. Thanks, Joe. Hour 2. Coming up, Real America's Voice, 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Slick Rick is going to do some more sports. Rick Delgado is going to do some more main headlines. Slick is trying out the Reese's. Actually, it's called Reesin, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Chocolates that were sent in by Wendy Lott.
I'm going to rescind my periodontist after this.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, don't go to sports next. We won't be able to say anything.
Paul Nolan. Do sports right now, Slick. Go. Paul Nolan's going to do some news as well. Now, Vinnie Mac was on the show last night. And, of course, Mr. Name Dropper had to tell us about some event that was happening. And he had to tell us because, of course, he had the inside information that this was happening, so he had to make it all about himself, of course.
I did not know that.
Thank you. Very good. And
so good.
That song is great.
I saw on Real America's Voice Twitter earlier, we have some documentation that Vinny, in fact, was correct. Here it is.
Well, y'all, I'm here with Ray and Kathy Peliquin, and it's pretty unique when we get to meet people who are fans of the network, but it's even better when they bring you a home-cooked meal. And that's what Ray and Kathy have so generously done today with some delicious baked ziti, homemade Italian dressing with salad, biscotti, homemade biscotti, Italian bread, just about everything you could possibly want. And so, Ray and Kathy, we want to thank you for what you brought to us today. And we were nourished and dietarily and nutritionally, but we were also nourished, I think, spiritually today, which I think was amazing. We want to give a big shout out to David Zier, whose birthday is today.
Happy birthday, David. We love you.
And we hear, and David, I keep hearing your meatballs are so great, but I got to tell you, Kathy's baked ziti and ravioli. I don't know. We're getting a great Italian meal right now. But I got to ask. So, if you could pick, what's your favorite show on RAV?
Live from Studio 6.
And look who's here.
We did not know that.
Yeah, they were paid to say that. But there's Vinny running off from Studio 6B. We'll make sure all the 6B boys know about this as well. So happy birthday, David Zier. And Ray and Kathy, just thank you so much for everything that you're doing to bring us some great home-cooked meals today, okay?
We love you guys. And
love you.
Thank you for everything you're doing for our dear Jerry. And he's on our hearts, and we won't give up till we bring Jerry Alderman home. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Bless him.
Look at that.
All right, there you go. So now, first of all, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
they seem like a beautiful couple.
They do.
And to go out of their way to do that for the studio in West Palm Beach is just fantastic. Having said that, can we just go to this moment right here? Now, why is it that Vin had to come in once they announced that their show? Why couldn't Vin have been there?
What do you mean? Like the whole time?
Well, yeah. Why wasn't he why wasn't he part of the video the whole time? Why did he have to make a special entrance once they announced Live from Studio 6B was their favorite show?
I don't think they knew he was one of us.
Live from
CD
I think it was another instant.
I don't know. We're getting a great Italian meal right now. But I gotta ask. So, if you could pick, what's your favorite show on RAF?
Live from Studio 6.
And look who's here.
The guy's like, wow, who is that? Look at the guy's face.
Vin just has to make an entrance.
Yeah.
That's my point.
And meanwhile, the guy next to him is, I do not know who this is. I do not know who this is who's standing next to me and trying to
Look at the guy's face. It's beautiful. I love it.
Because remember, Vin had that happen before where people come to West Palm Beach and they say, wow, we love... he asked them, what's your favorite show? And they go Live from Studio 6B. But they don't acknowledge that he's part of the show because I don't think they know that he's on the show.
Oh, they know.
No, of course they know.
I don't know if they do.
Well, that one person didn't.
You're cutting him too much slack here. Vin probably set the... Okay, here, guys, here's what we're going to do.
Of course
As soon as you guys... Right, Aaron?
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
So you're saying...
You're saying he's a grandstand.
Right. You're saying he's like the Jim Carrey.
He's a Grand Canyon is more like it.
Where he's like, look at me. Look at me.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Vin purposely made his entrance after the show was announced. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that was missing was Dave Ziti and his birthday.
So, happy birthday to David
Yes,
Zier,
happy
by the
birthday,
way.
David Zier.
The great David Zier. Happy birthday to David Zier.
David Ziti.
I'll have to text him. I didn't realize today was his birthday.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Happy
But
birthday.
no, this is all about That's
his MO.
Vin. That's Vin.
Yeah.
So, but beautiful couple. Thank you very much to them for what they did down there, and just obviously everybody who watches the show. We appreciate it so much. Let's do some news. 5 minutes past the hour. Headlines. Rick Delgado's got them. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, guess what? Your favorite CNN commentator, poll taker, we're talking about Harry Enton, is at it again as he congratulates the House and all of Congress, actually, on a shocking 89-point drop in approval. It's an amazing thing. You got to see it to believe
Did you
it.
see Mike Johnson today, by the way?
No, I didn't.
Before you get to that, in whatever approval, walking through the halls of Congress, I guarantee, I'm convinced that we're going to expand our margins in the midterm. That's Mike Johnson again today.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Harry was joined by CNN anchor Sarah Sidner earlier today and broke down some of the latest polling surrounding the approval of the GOP-led Congress numbers, showing a stunning collapse of support for not only Republicans, but for Congress overall. Here is cut number one. I had to divide this up into three because there's so much here. Here's cut number one with Harry Enton. Let's go to his first clip here. Cut number 9. Check this out.
You know, I just want to say to Congress, stand up and applaud. You're usually hated, but usually not this hated. You're reaching, or at least tying, record highs in terms of disapproval. Hello. 86% of Americans disapprove of Congress. That is tied with November of 2013 for the all-time high. As I said, Congress usually hated, but usually not this hated. You're actually managing to tie records. Just 10%. Just 10% of Americans approve of the job that Congress is doing. So therefore, as I said, stand up and give yourselves a round of applause. You managed to do it. Congratulations.
Or walk away in shame.
Yeah, so there he is, of course, getting everybody to realize that Congress is probably the most hated entity in the world right now, or close to it, at least in this country. Here he is comparing that 10% approval to other things around that same approval rating. Cut number 10, check this out, cut 10.
Okay, so you see this 10% approval, and I just was searching my head. I was like, okay, what else basically has 10% of the population by their side? Just take a look here. Okay, Americans who say that the moon landing was faked back in 1969. Sarah's side, and they're off on the side laughing. More Americans say that the moon landing was fake back in 1969 than actually approve of the job that Congress is doing right now at 10%. That 10% is equal to the percentage of Americans that believe that the Earth is flat. Of course, we did not fake the moon landing. We did land on the moon. And of course, the Earth is actually a sphere, my dear friends.
That's the one that made me laugh. Because
yes, it's not flat. You can't walk off the edge of the Earth. But apparently, the same percentage believe that Congress is a job well done.
Yeah. And finally, here is the again, all from the same. It was just a big segment that he did on this poll of how much Americans hate Congress and Republicans as well. Here's cut number 11. Here's Harry Enton. Even Republicans hate Congress, and they control it. Cut number 11. Check this out.
What does this tell you about sort of where Americans' minds are and why they are so annoyed or pissed with Congress?
Yeah, pissed is a great word. Perturbed is another one. I like my peas early in the morning. But I would just say this. You see this 10%, right? You go, how the heck did we end up here? You know, Republicans control the House. Republicans control the Senate. But yet, Republicans have actually turned on this Congress. Just take a look here. I mean, just look at this. Congress's net approval rating among the GOP. Back in March of 2025, it was plus 33%. That was the net approval. Down it goes to minus 56. What is that? That's like an 89-point move over a little bit years' time. No wonder at this point Congress is facing record high disapproval rating, because even Republicans, and their party controls Congress, absolutely despises it.
Wow, those numbers are abysmal. I don't know what Congress can do to fix them.
There's nothing. I mean, maybe they can walk off the edge of the flat Earth.
I was going to say, I got one thing they can do. They could actually give a budget, approve a budget. Which
they could actually do something. Then maybe people might actually like you.
Yeah, so there you have it. Just like he likes his peas early in the morning, he likes his polls right there on your screen.
Here's Mike.
Stay away from the slick, Rick.
What?
Here's Mike Johnson this morning. Now, the audio, I'll warn you on, this is not great, but this is about the only version that's out there. But here Mike Johnson is this morning.
I'm absolutely convinced the Republican Party is going to keep and grow this majority in November. Last night was a good sign. Many of you thought that Republicans would not turn out for that ballot initiative vote, and they did in big numbers. I'm absolutely.
Okay, there's the Speaker of the House today.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Convincing.
Now, I mean, I'm not really sure even what to say about this guy. I mean, if even the most positive outlooking person who, if you have any basic understanding of history and what the party is up against, just from a history perspective of being the midterm of a second-term president of a party that's in full control of everything right now. And just that alone. Then you mix in the fact that if you stopped 25 people on pretty much anywhere in this country on a street corner and asked them, well, most of them wouldn't even know what position he holds. But putting that aside, even people who do know, who are Republicans who like the party, if you ask them, other than the big, beautiful bill, what is this Congress most going to be remembered for passing? Most of them could not give you an answer.
The passing time.
You heard from Harry Enton at the end of that last clip. Do something. Pass something. They're not doing anything. And that's what I think, frustrates not only us, but I think all Americans overall. It's like, you guys aren't doing anything. They can't get any coalition to say, you know what, here's what we stand for, here's what we said we were going to do, and we're going to go do it. Instead, they stand around with their thumbs you-know-where and, point the fingers at each other. Meanwhile, they're not getting anything done but obstructing the president and everything that he ran on that he said he was going to try to get done.
I don't think you could even get people. Maybe most of them would say the big beautiful bill if they're into politics and follow it. I don't think any of them would even remember maybe the Lake and Riley Act. I guess you could point to that and say that was something they got done. But that's a stretch for most people to remember that. And I don't think they could even come up with a third.
No, because they would say, you know what, that was Trump. They'd say closing the borders, that was Trump. Congress didn't do anything. And they're right, because they haven't done anything.
13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More sports, more Paul Nolan coming up right after this.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. Would have had that.
Jim Rockford had an answer.
I know.
James Garner was an American legend. What you got there?
They already cut this clip for social. It's already out.
Chocolate. You want one?
What is it?
Oh,
I don't want it.
Did you really drop that?
Yeah.
4,000 calories tonight.
Here. It's not a big one.
I don't want to eat it.
Chat. What's going on in the chat?
Thank God these aren't the dark chocolate ones, because that'd be all. I'd be nuts. Dark chocolate Reese's are great.
Sounds like a hoedown dance in the barn. Okay.
No, it sounds like the Rockford Files.
Sounds like the Rockford Files.
The Rockford Files. You have reached.
Republicans do not want the majority. Don't let them fool you. Tumbleweed farmer, what's up? Don't laugh at my groin. What's going on?
You must be in around the ranch.
Ryan Peterson on X, what's going on? Skeet Man, what's going on? Racing Banshee, what's going on?
Grandpa, give him the heater.
Give him the heater,
Ricky. All right.
Don't mess around with the curveball. Give him the heater.
Chat is pissed, Damon. Bob Leisure says on Facebook. Okay, what else is new?
Don't laugh at my groin.
What's up, Dave, over in the Rumble chat?
Astro
J-Buck, 169 on Rumble. What's up?
Real Mr. J.
Don't laugh at me groin.
Great Googly Moogly.
Johnny T12, what's going on?
Salty Cat. Chrissy Cat. Lots of cats. Meow.
Johnny T12.
Honey K, what's up?
Honey K.
Yeah, we decided we're gonna do the show live at Eisenhower Park with a barbecue.
Oh my God!
Everyone's welcome.
Where's Eisenhower Park?
Caviar 60, Hank 388, Tumbleweed Farmer, Wendy Bernhard, Honey K.
Wendy Bernhard.
Commander Mike.
Boulder.
Patrick Ahern, what's going on?
Fly G Patriot, everybody over in the Twix chat. Howdy to the Twixers.
Howdy doody.
Nancy. Ba-ba-da-da. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Slick's doing sports. Still got us doing main headlines right now. Let's get back to Paul Nolan. He's got some news on a Wednesday. Mr. Nolan, what's going on?
Well, I thought my man Delgado was going to have these clips. I'm glad we're going to get to play him here. But we've been pretty hard on Cash Patel, right?
Yeah,
and deservedly so. But he really steps up to the plate in these clips here. There's two clips back to back. The first one, he just goes on the offensive. If you can give us cut 16, Aaron.
I do want to give you an opportunity to respond directly to the allegations in the Atlantic article that your unexplained absences created a national security risk. And beyond that, can you say definitively that you have not been intoxicated or absent during your tenure as FBI director?
I can say unequivocally that I never listened to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit. And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
Wow. So, I mean, wow. And it gets better, but I mean, this guy.
Great.
This guy has taken a lot of heat. And let's be honest, Pam Bondi was a disaster, and we knew that about, 3 months in, we knew that she was an absolute joke of a pick. And we all had high hopes. Bongino obviously rolled over, tucked tail, and cowered out, and just completely promised us he would fight like a dog, and didn't. And I don't care how much I hate I get in the chat because I was a huge Bongino fan. So disappointed. Cash Patel has now stepped up to the mic, and he's standing up for what Americans want, and he delivered. I like this clip too. Let's follow up with this.
Explain the computer login issue. Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your lawsuit contends that you were not able to log into the system. What did you think after you were unable to log into the system?
Let's have a survey. How many of you people believe that's true? Hang on.
Did you communicate?
You asked the question. Let me answer it.
No, let me. No. Did you communicate with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into?
The problem with you and your report. Don't cut me off. You asked the question.
Straightforward question.
The problem with you and your baseless reporting is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so. And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans, you are off topic.
Simple, straightforward question. Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought you were fired?
The simple answer to your question is you are lying, and every time you do so, I've answered your question. It's simply as follows. I was never locked out of my systems. Anybody who says it,
your lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit
anyone that says the opposite is lying. Thank you.
The lawsuit that you filed says that directly.
Man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude. And I know maybe that's part of your profession, but please just stop. If you ask a question, he can answer it. And then now you're interrupting me. Like, just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit. Try it sometime.
And rightfully so. I mean, that's a guy who's never been punched in the face in his life, and he has no humility whatsoever. The people like this sicken me. Just shut your mouth, get out of the way. You want to ask hard-hitting questions, good for you. You want to be a punk, you want to interrupt, you want to be disrespectful, you should be kicked out of that room.
Yeah, he's like the who was the reporter that always went after Trump in the first administration from CNN? What was his name? And then he got summarily kind of booted. Now he's on like some weekend show.
I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
They're all interchangeable jackasses to me.
Yeah, he was always interrupting. He was always rude. You know, I mean, I've done that. I've shown up for work not being able to sign in going, oh, I think I got fired. It's because I had the cap lock on or something like that or something stupid. But that's it.
Shocker.
And you probably really expect to be fired.
You said you think?
I mean,
what?
Every day you have to be like, I can't believe I'm still getting a paycheck.
Shut up, Paul.
All right, 22 past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
say that every day here.
Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, LFSXP. Is the promo code to use? Slickster's got sports. What's going on, Slick?
All right, Big D. Let's get to Philly right now. We got the Flyers 3-1 over the Penguins and a big Game 3. Philadelphia could take a commanding 3-0 lead. You know what that means in the NHL? Only 4 teams in NHL history have come back down trailing 3-0 in a playoff series. So Pittsburgh's got to figure it out with about 18 minutes to go there, but big game. 9:30 tonight, we got the Stars at the Wild. Good game in Minnesota. That series is tied at 1. Ducks take on the Oilers. Oilers won Game 1 tonight. Game 2, 10 p.m. puck drop out in Edmonton. NBA, well, the Pistons are definitely firing on all 8 cylinders. See what I did there? Down in Detroit, 88-70 over the Magic with 7:46 to go in the fourth. They're rocking and rolling in Little Caesars Arena. Pizza. It looks like the Pistons are going to pull to a 1-1 tie there. Suns taking on the Thunder in Oklahoma City. That's a 9:30 p.m. tip-off. Tomorrow night, Big D, don't forget, NFL draft. Can't wait for that. Big Raiders are on the clock already. I know you can't name 2 players. I hear you. And Victor Wembanyama, speaking of the NBA, hopeful to travel to Portland for Game 3 while in concussion protocol from Spurs loss to Trailblazers. The Trailblazers rallied from a 14-point haul in the fourth quarter to stun the Spurs last night after Victor Wembanyama entered concussion protocol. Ryan Young of Yahoo Sports, San Antonio Spurs star Victor Wembanyama reported to the team's facility as scheduled on Wednesday while recovering from a concussion. According to the ESPN's Sham Charania, Wembanyama is hopeful to travel with the team to Portland on Thursday. They're going to need him because without him, that's a different team altogether. Without the big man in the middle, kind of like the Sixers. Although they had a good night last night.
He can't play if he's in concussion protocol. Yeah. It isn't the league rule 7 to 10 days or something like that.
Yeah, well, I think that's the NFL.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think the NBA is 7 to 10.
I think it is.
Yeah, well, we'll have to take. I'll look that up for you.
I don't think he would be allowed to play till Game 5 now.
Wow, unbelievable. Well, he should sit with his buddy Embiid, who's probably not going to play this year.
Did you see him take that shot? He fell on his face.
He did. Right on his face.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, you could see.
Yeah.
That was a bad slide.
Yeah.
And just real quick here, top high school female basketball coach charged with 32 counts for sex with student. This is Lowell. They said this is becoming an epidemic. Worse than the Catholic Church is how it's gotten. This is Breitbart talking. A grand jury has charged a former Alabama high school basketball coach who only weeks ago coached her team to the state championship title game in her first season with 32 grooming and sex charges with a student in the same school where her husband also coaches the male team. Can you believe this one?
Yeah.
Paige Adams, 35, was arrested Tuesday on the charges that included 30 counts of contributing obscene materials to a student, 1 count of a school employee having sexual contact with a student under the age of 19, and 1 count of an employee engaging in a sex act or deviant sexual intercourse with a student, according to CBS 42 in Birmingham. This is just an unbelievable story. The husband did on April 6th file for divorce, which was probably the first good movie made. Yeah. This, but unbelievable. This is crazy, but this is becoming a real problem in the education system now.
Would they say 1 in 6 kids are sexually assaulted in schools now?
It is absolutely.
I could have sworn I heard something to that effect.
By the way, the NBA concussion protocol is 48 hours once diagnosed, and then gradual return to activity after 24 hours of no concussion-related symptoms.
So he could be back in 2 days, Big D. Come on.
No chance. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
It's good to be the host. Like I said last night, Paul, I think the problem is you got Sid the Invalid now playing for the Penguins.
I love Sid. So, a specific campus survey at MIT found that about 1 in 6 female undergraduate respondents reported sexual assault.
Jeez. That's...
Yeah. Now, it could be because people, good morning, young lady, you look lovely. You're assaulting me. Well, that could be amplified. But either way, 1 in 100 is too many.
That woman could get 31 years in prison.
Damon, don't be dismissive of Delgado. He's just trying to be informative. Ha!
Welcome to the show.
I guess they just started watching.
First night. Hope you make it tonight too.
Chat live in the chat. Heading over to the YouTubes.
Other surveys, women say 1 in 5 experience.
The field's leading expert and researcher called the problem 100 times worse than the highly publicized sex scandal that hit the Catholic Church in past decades. What's going on in schools?
Les Durham, Allie Lane, R. Liberty Smith, Marianne Mack spoke. Nina Trawick, Brian Belford, all in the YouTubes.
Can you get this away from me because I have no self-control?
He can't stop eating Junior Mints. Can I have one? Give me one. Don't put that in your mouth.
Not many left, Paul.
There's nothing in here. Take this empty box away from me. I might eat it.
Slick, you better cut it out. Sidney Crosby is the best on the ice. Love that guy.
He was.
We call him Sid the Invalid.
I'd say, as Islander fans, we hated him because he killed us. But he was a crybaby. His first 10 years, a crybaby.
Oh, every time he didn't get a call.
But he really manned up the last 10. I mean, he's actually...
Look at that
and
goal
he's
he
a
scored.
legend off the ice, man. He is a legend off the ice. What he does for kids...
City of Pittsburgh, yeah.
If he was an Islander, I might have 87 tattooed onto my back.
Yeah, he's a great player, no doubt about it. I'm just kidding.
He's arguably top 3 of all time. You could put him right in the same class of all the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Doing it in a different era.
I agree.
As tough as he did.
I agree.
Kitty 92, UCI Swagman, JPW 2730. Everybody.
I don't think they'll ever love him more than Lemieux, though.
In the Rumble Runs.
You think?
All right, 30 minutes past the hour live from Studio 6B. Let me take this second to apologize to Rick Delgado because I was wrong.
About what?
Here's what I saw. Victor Wembanyama is in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
The average NBA recovery time for concussion is 7 to 10 days.
Average.
Game 3 is 3 days. Game 4 would be 5 days. Game 5 would be 7 days. There's a very good chance Wemby misses games 3 and 4, and the series is tied 1-1. That's what I saw. So.
Oh, all right.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's speak of the news. And Delgado, let's do some more. He's got it. Actually, before we get to that, I wanted to get to this just because we live here on Long Island. And this story is just New York Education Commissioner, this clown, Betty Rosa, just issued an order claiming that Massapequa and Locust Valley schools violated state law. Ready? You want to know why?
Yep.
By requiring people to use the bathroom aligning with their biological sex.
What?
She has now ordered the school districts to allow males to use the female bathrooms. And just to give you an idea of who this clown is, she is the New York State Education Commissioner. As of early 2025, New York State Education Commissioner Betty Rosa's annual salary is $489,000.
That's her salary.
Following a $155,000 raise. This total includes a $130,000 increase from the Board of Regents and a $25,000 increase for department heads. In addition to her salary, she receives a $120,000 annual government pension from her prior work as a New York City educator.
Unbelievable.
$489,000 a year. Total compensation over $600,000, including the $120,000 pension. A raise of $155,000 in early 2025. The raise has faced scrutiny from critics who consider it high, while supporters defend it as aligning with other high-level educational leadership roles. She has served in the New York State Education Commissioner and President of the University of the State of New York since 2021. So,
that's just criminal. For one,
that is.
Her decisions are disgusting. I mean, just look at her face. I don't know, you can't look at her face, but man, that's just has the look of I'm smarter than everyone. And for her to be wearing a $10,000 pearl necklace by making $600K a year is despicable.
Especially on the backs of schools and kids.
I mean,
that's where the money comes. When you talk about, they have to raise taxes because the budget is shortfall. Look at some of the people who they spend their money on. It's as simple as that. You look at somebody like this who is vastly overpaid for her stupidity, and then you start to say, you know what? This is what's wrong with the system, right? Because the system, once these people get in the system, they don't want to leave. They get all their buddies in, and then they get their buddies to vote them bigger, better contracts and bigger and better salaries.
And they justify their dumb job by doing dumb things like this.
Right.
It's just pathetic.
I think there should be an investigation led in New York State. Bruce Blakeman should have her on his campaign ads.
I think
this is what's wrong with New York State.
Full Metal Jacket, Code Red.
Who should?
Bruce Blakeman.
Who's that?
Our buddy, our pal, who's not going to come to the studio.
Yeah, got it.
He's busy.
All right, let's do some headlines. 34 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Rick Delgado's got him. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, speaking of other stupid people that are Democrats, RFK Jr. had to go and sit in front of them. They're known as senators as they grilled him on vaccines, drug prices, and more at a hearing earlier today. In 2 hearings on Capitol Hill, the health secretary faced vigorous questioning from senators. He testified before the U.S. Senate Finance Committee and the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, or as you could call them, help, because that's what they need. While Republicans on the committee basically praise Kennedy for his agency's investments in rural health and nutrition, it's the exchanges with the Democratic senators that frequently became rancorous, as they wrote here. That's not a word I would use, but I think it's appropriate. Democrats pushed Kennedy to commit to making the Trump administration deal with pharmaceutical companies in public. They grilled him on measles, other vaccines, and asked him to account for any number of other stupid ideas that they had. Let's go to some of the cuts. I only grabbed there was a bunch where he was going back and forth with these people. But he just, I know, Damon, this is one of your favorites.
Oh, boy. What's this?
Here he is smashing Debbie Dingbat Dingle on the measles vaccine.
Debbie Dingle or Debbie, I just got out of the pool, Wasserman?
No, Debbie Dingbat Dingle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cut number 13. Here's RFK smashing her with some knowledge. Cut 13. Check this out.
And I said, why didn't you get immunized? And they said, we're listening to our government. Our government tells us not to. So you may think that you're pro-vaccine, but people aren't hearing that. And I'm talking to the people that are actually sick right now.
Can I answer some of the misstatements you made about measles?
My time is short, but it's a documented fact. The U.S. said it was eliminated in 2000.
Well, we eliminated it. Europe eliminated it. Canada, and now guess what? Canada has lost its elimination status. England has lost its elimination status. All across Europe, they've lost their elimination status. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do that we have a global epidemic. And if you're asking why people stop vaccinating, it's because the government lied to them during COVID. That's when the vaccinations rates dropped. Not because of me. And if you're worried about polio and tuberculosis, you should look at the immigration policies of this country, because the place where it's occurring are the place where the immigrants are going, because they're not vaccinated and they got tuberculosis.
A lot of people have stopped getting vaccines, and I can't go. I can't agree with you on that. But I'm getting low on time
and low on brain cells.
Low on brain.
You know what? Go have your
great minds think alike.
Go have your 4 martini lunch really with Nancy Pelosi hand gestures. Get out of here.
Shut up, Slick.
Here is more RFK Jr. on some of the fraud and the hospices that they've been shutting down. Again, another major thing that they've been able to do. RFK Jr.
Okay. Who's he talking to now? Dingbat still? Or?
No, he's talking to another dingbat. Another Democrat. Cut 12. Check this out.
So now you've got all of these problems, and I'll give you one example. The hospices in Los Angeles. We've shut down 500 of them. We have not gotten one call from a congressperson or one call from a patient. Why? Because those hospices did not exist. Right. They were signing up patients. They were getting patient IDs, signing them up, and charging us $6,000 a month for that patient. How did we detect them all? Because the patients never died.
Hello. When you check in the hospice, usually you don't check out because that's why hospices exist, to help with people with end of life. Yeah. As he was pointing out, none of these people were dying, and they just kept collecting the money for the people that they registered. So that coming from RFK. Here is one more. Another useless Democrat. This one's name is Ron Wyden. He is he's a senator from Oregon.
From Oregon.
And he's got that Joe Biden thin skin look face going on. Yeah. Cut number 14. Check this out.
Where's my Ozempic? Will you commit to releasing your written agreements with the pharmaceutical companies tomorrow?
Listen to this.
No, I will not. And I can explain why. Those agreements contain proprietary information and trade secrets. When you passed the Inflation Reduction Act and ordered me to negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies, you put in a provision that required NDAs, because nobody's going to come to the table with me if I start releasing proprietary information. You seem to be saying we were paying the highest prices for drugs in the world. You seem to be arguing that now we're paying the lowest. We've dropped IVF by 83%. We've dropped GLPs by 89%. Insulin, COPD drugs, asthma drugs that the American people, now they're paying the lowest cost in the world rather than the highest. And you want to go back on that? You can do this better than us. We did it because you wouldn't act. You have a lot more power to negotiate than we do. Why don't you just go do it?
Yeah, so there he is calling Congress out.
Man.
Yeah.
Good point.
And it's amazing because, let's face it, we all remember he was a Democrat for basically his entire life up until a couple of years ago when he went independent, and that was, of course, alluded to and given to us early by our mutual contact there, Damon, who told us he was going to be an independent during the 2024 election, and we reported it first. But before that, he was a Democrat.
Speaking of wing nuts.
Before that, he bought me a T-shirt. Before that, he was a Democrat, and he was fighting all these fights, and he had Democrats all in his corner.
Well, no. Oh, you're talking about RFK.
Yeah, RFK.
I thought you were talking about our mutual friend.
No, not our mutual friend.
I was going to say, he was never a Democrat.
No, not at all. So... You know, they're getting their own guy blasting them in the face for their hypocrisy, and I hope they're enjoying it.
Okay. All right. Anything else in the news, Delgado, or you want me? Paul's got something on Jerry Nadler. I just can't wait to get to. I don't know what this possibly could
I can't wait for that to drop.
Well, I don't think 2 minutes is enough. I think we're going to need more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, you don't want to run out of time.
What did Jerry do, Paul? Just give me like a tease if we can't do the whole thing.
Yeah. No, we'll get it in.
Yeah, we can get it.
Jerry Nadler is standing up for the Constitution, and he makes a great case. It's a blast from the past, and it's not coming from his so let's let it go.
He knew quite properly
oh my God.
Wow. That an impeachment of a
he looks
president
like he ate Jerry.
is an undoing of a national election. And one of the reasons we all feel so angry about what they are doing is that they are ripping from us, they are ripping asunder our votes. They are telling us that our votes don't count. And that the election must be set aside.
He was talking about, we talked over the beginning of it, but he was talking about that when you impeach a president, you're just ripping away our votes. And here he is just telling us that how wrong it is. But meanwhile, he's going to he's going to come after Trump every day of his life once the midterms come.
Jerry looks like they're like
he had too many sides.
It honestly looks like someone filled him up with an air hose. It reminds me of remember that old Phil Collins video with all the puppet, the flopping puppets.
Land of confusion.
Yeah.
Jerry looks like he got stung. Jerry looks like he got stung by a colony of bees right before he decided to step out to the microphone.
Looks like he ate a colony of bees.
What the hell happened there?
What do you think he's weighing there? 4 1/4?
At least.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry's pushing King Kong Bundy size there.
Yeah. He's putting a stress test on those, seams, on those pants. Huh?
He looks good right now compared to that when you go back and look at those clips.
That is some stretch.
I mean, he must have been hitting every White Castle on Long Island that there was.
With his face.
Holy cow.
I have six, literally. I have the really, really hungry man breakfast. I need 9 eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, and potatoes on a roll.
With extra cheese.
Can we turn the hungry man into a really hungry man? What did you say? Looks like he got what?
Filled up with an air hose.
We have to read some of these. Yes, we do.
We got another segment to do.
In the Twix chat, Leo Kling.
Man, this is where the chat gets me, and I'll never get it back together.
Leo Kling says gravity is struggling.
Stop. Please stop. Don't. I can't look at the chat. I can't.
Brian Belfort, he's a double wide.
Racing Banshee says he doesn't even fit on the screen.
David Weil says he ate the Michelin Man.
Yeah, he did.
I'm telling you to stop, or when we come back from commercial, I'm not going to be able to talk. You're going to have to do it,
goodness.
Your SVPs has a plus ton.
Glasgow Lady says, can you imagine how loud one of his farts would have been?
My wife's cake by like 10-10. So
Oh,
you care if I
man. Oh, man.
You know All right, I want to say goodnight to the audience. It's my wife's birthday.
You leaving?
Yeah, and I'm going to go.
You don't want to read some more of these?
I would love to.
Please stop. Please.
Yeah, we got to get it.
I got to get it together.
Every time these clips, man.
Yeah,
he really looks like Peter Griffin.
It's a Pulitzer Prize.
he looks like a super large Peter Griffin. What? Chrissy Cat says he has his own zip code.
I mean, you could see the smell coming off him. Like it looked like pig pedicle leaves.
Brian Belfort, he is a 2-seater.
All right, the real Mr. J says he should have his own Rumble rant name. Said, "I can't my groin, Nadler."
Oh man, I can't forget it, man.
Good night, everybody. What's going on? Let me know what's going on for Friday.
We're gonna have a show after this segment.
I have a minute.
Yeah, you got to get. Oh man, that was hysterical.
Let's go over to the
YouTubes. When I saw Nadler's
YouTubes.
name on the rundown, it said something about going down memory lane. I thought we were going back to Crazy Town or something.
Yeah.
All right, Paulie, be good.
Paulie, tell the wife happy birthday.
Good game.
What'd they say? We orbit Jerry Nadler.
Oh man.
God.
I don't have anything else in sports. No, I'm kidding.
The Goodyear Jerry Nadler, Mr. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Man, he's a double wide.
Oh my goodness!
They used his gravity to pull Artemis home from the moon.
Tina Morgan.
We got to finish.
Tina Morgan.
13.
Tina Morgan. Quoting the great Kevin Downey Jr. He's a salad dodger.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes,
and MST Craig says extra cheese on everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Last segment of the show. Glad you've been in on a Wednesday night, of course.
He's a 2-seater.
He's two-seater.
Bill Moore.
13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's. Paul's wife is. Well, first of all, happy birthday to David Zier. One more time.
Happy birthday, David.
And happy birthday to Michelle.
Oh, Michelle.
Paul's wife, whose birthday is tonight. Paul left so they could do cake. So happy birthday to her as well. Of course, anyone else out there who has a birthday, happy birthday to you as well. Let's get to the guys one last time and see what else is on their radar other than fat-ass Jerry Nadler. Slickster?
Oh, I got to lead it off.
Sports is brought to you. No, you don't have to. Do you not want to?
I will.
Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. I mean, I'd like to avoid, if we can, almost like last night. I hope this doesn't become a nightly thing, Delgado's last story, because, I mean, just who knows where we're going to go here.
Oh, come on.
Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to you. Slickster, what's going on?
One last sweep of the scoreboard. Big D, NHL. Well, the Flyers just went up 4-2, looking to take a commanding 3-0 lead in the East first round over the Pittsburgh Penguins. 7 minutes to go there in the third period. Stars and Wild out in Minnesota. 9:30 puck drop there, which actually should have dropped already, but I don't see a score update there because it's 9:48 here. Ducks at the Oilers at 10 p.m. NBA, Pistons 98-83 over the Magic. 29 seconds to go there in the fourth. Looks like the Pistons are going to tie the first round East Conference as well in the game 2. The series will be tied at 1. And the Suns take on the Thunder. 9:30 tip-off out west, out in Oklahoma City, actually. And that's another good game. That's a game 2 there with the OKC leading the series 1-0. Major League Baseball. Oh, the Mets are looking to hold on. They lead 3-2 in the top of the ninth, looking to break their 12-game losing streak. We shall see, Big D. And Rockies over the Padres 4-1, bottom of the third. Top of the first, White Sox, Diamondbacks, no score, and Dodgers, Giants just underway out in San Francisco. Final story of the night. Oh, of course, I got to bring in my Dallas Cowboys. And Bill Clinton makes a surprise visit during Cowboys press conference. Jerry Jones nearly falls off the stage. We'll get to that clip in a second. Dylan Gwynn and Breitbart. Two guys who were a really big deal in the 1990s had a surprise encounter on Wednesday. Jerry Jones was holding a pre-draft press conference with local media when suddenly he noticed the 42nd president of the United States entering the room. Aaron, if you could roll cut 2 and let's see what Jerry and BJ have cooking. Oh, Jerry almost went down.
Good balance right there. My draft, he moved up in the draft today. His draft rigged up better. Contact balance. One of those. Got contact balance. Matt with you? He's here somewhere. He's here somewhere.
Jerry, you going to the strip club from here? Take me with
as a way of, this guy was recently named the second most American to have started with very little and have accomplished a lot. Look at it.
All right, Aaron, that's enough. Jerry's just going to run.
Jerry,
that's two guys who have done very little since the 1990s, Big D. In fact, I mean, come on now. Jerry
trying to kiss ass to BJ. I wonder why. Well, we know why, maybe.
Well, Jerry, he's trying to get the draft there. Now, Clinton probably do a better job picking the draft than old Jerry, but that's neither here nor there. Despite their success in the 90s, the Cowboys have not reached the NFC Championship game since 1995, making the now 30-plus year conference championship game drought the longest in the NFL. So good job there, Jerry, with those Cowboys, and make me suffer another 30 years. And that's a wrap in sports, Big D. Back to you.
All right, Slickster Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Shop at MyPillow. You want to support Mike, support the show. It's a great way to do it. He's got great stuff. You can go to mypillow.com, and, of course, you can go to mystore.com as well. He's got great stuff over there as well if you want to get the coffee or any of the other things he has. I don't know if you guys have noticed some of the footage that the astronauts are starting to release that are starting to come out, things they took, pictures they took with their iPhones and stuff. Have you seen some?
No.
I mean, there are some crazy ones. I just saw this one tonight. This is from astronaut Christina Koch. She was on there. I mean, take a look at this footage of Earth. Like this, she's 33,000 miles away from Earth when she took this with her phone. Look at that. 33,000 miles away from Earth. She took that with her iPhone.
Wow.
Is that incredible?
That is incredible.
Attention, all you flat earthers. Attention.
Yeah, Harrietton. There you go. Living proof.
You're not walking off the edge of nothing.
Wow.
Man, some pretty crazy stuff coming out of that. Incredible stuff. Man, if some of these pictures don't make you believe that there's some some higher power in charge of all this, man. I don't know, because some of those pictures, there's just no way. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, amen to that.
It's just crazy. All right, let's do some last-minute news. Well, not last-minute news, but let's do our last news of the night. Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, I believe Aaron's going to be sending you a few things for this last story because it's a big one. And since you did post that picture right there of the astronaut posting the picture of the Earth from 33,000 miles away, here is some latest news coming out of NASA as well. This from Gizmodo. NASA breaks silence on the deaths and disappearances of scientists with ties to space technology. 11 missing or dead scientists are now, Damon, at the center of this federal investigation, and 3 have direct ties to NASA itself. The Trump administration has launched an investigation into those disappearances and the deaths of 11 American scientists, the vast majority of whom were associated with federal nuclear or space research programs. 3 of those scientists with direct ties to NASA, and the agency has finally broken its silence on the matter. It says here, according to their ex post, that NASA is cooperating with the relevant agencies in relation to the missing scientists. At this time, nothing related to NASA indicates a national security threat. The agency is committed to transparency and will provide more information if it is able to. And let's go to that first clip. Here is James Comer, who is also concerned about this. I mean, Damon, at this point, you got to admit, there's a lot of people talking about this, including the president, members of the House on both sides, members of Congress. Here's James Comer talking about the missing scientists as well. Check this out.
Yeah, I don't see how it can be a coincidence. The odds are enormous for this to be a coincidence. We are very concerned about this. 11 different key officials in our nuclear science program in America have either died or are missing. We've asked for information from the various agencies, the Department of Energy, the FBI, NASA, all the agencies, the Department of Defense. We want to know what they know, because what I found in 3.5 years as chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Sean, is a lot of these government agencies don't communicate with each other. We want to see everything they have on all of these scientists in their various agencies to see if we can determine if there's a missing link here, something that's consistent that would help us to determine what the cause of this is. Because, again, I'm like most Americans. I don't believe that this is just a coincidence.
Yeah, and again, you're talking about a very small group of people in this orbit of that work in this industry, and 3 of the 11 scientists at the center of the investigation were, like I said, employees of NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. One guy who's talked a lot about this, Representative Tim Burchett. Here's 20 seconds about some of the death threats he's received. Check this out.
Congressman, I mean, you obviously have a lot of information which could be very explosive. Have you, and there are people clearly you believe who don't want this information out there. Do you ever fear for your safety? Have you had any threats telling you to shut up?
Well, I constantly have death threats on my life, sir. I've been warned many times about doing certain events, parades,
so
things like that.
Cut it off since we're
I'm
running
not sure
out of
if it's
time
about
here.
this issue or just that I've got a big mouth.
But that's Tim Burchett saying he's been warned. So, again, I don't know.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. back. Vinnie Mac back on the show to explain himself tomorrow night, live from Studio 6B.
feel much more energetic than I have in the past.
Over the course of time, I lost a total of 25 pounds. So thank you, Almacet.
Almacet is all natural, supports healthy blood sugar levels, and it's diabetic friendly. Some weight loss plans have you feel weak and hungry, but Almacet will renew your energy, and you can lose weight and feel great.
Almacet's unique protein can truly absorb in your body and aid with weight loss.
Studies showed Almacet helps you lose double the weight compared to other diets.
The fact is, Almacet works, and I highly recommend it.
Go to almacet.com now to get started for just $39.99. That's $4 a meal. We guarantee you can lose weight or you'll get your money back. Be like Beth and get the unfair weight loss advantage with Almacet.